Earlier this year, our world changed as we learned about something we'd never heard of, COVID-19. And it has truly affected everything that we do in our culture, on our campus. It's changed the lives of our students, of our employees, of our faculty members. And that's why I'm wanting to bring you a series of stories inside OSUIT to talk about some of the changes that we've put in place in response to COVID-19. Today I'm in the Bursar's office, and I want to find out about some of the changes that occurred here to improve the services that we provide to students. And I'm honored to have with me today the Bursar herself, Sonia Richardson. Sonia, and I feel like I need to apologize to you because you haven't been here very long. You've only been here a couple of years, and then COVID-19 hits. This is one of the most stressful things I can remember in 35 years of higher education. And I apologize to you that you're having to deal with it now just 2 years in at our institution. First off, tell me, because most people don't realize, what is a Bursar?
The Bursar it stands for Keeper of the Purse. So the Bursar's office takes all of the cash on campus, whether it be from students, from other areas of the campus, so the bookstore, the cafe, things like that. We make those deposits. We do the refunds to students. We talk about student accounts, their billing, and we do reconciliations on those accounts for the students.
So what experiences did you have earlier in your career that kind of led towards becoming a Bursar here at OSUIT?
Prior to working at OSUIT, I was in banking for several years. I did finance, teller work, loan officer work. Then I moved on to accounts receivable, where I collected money for the eastern half of Oklahoma for a large business in Oklahoma, and it led me here to OSUIT.
We're delighted to have you here working with our students. Students are pretty familiar with financial aid. They might not be as familiar with a Bursar. Why don't you define for us, what's the difference between financial aid office and the Bursar's office?
Well, coming from the banking world, the easiest way I know how to define the two is financial aid is like the loan officer and the Bursar's office is like the teller line. The financial aid office is doing all the loan paperwork, they're getting everything together, and the Bursar's office is doing the funding of the loans and getting the cash out and taking the payments.
So truly the two offices work hand in hand, and from what I've been able to see, you work very well together. Now during the quarantine period of COVID-19, certainly in April and May, our doors were closed to the public. We didn't allow the general public to come in, but your office was still open. Can you explain to me, how did you maintain services during that quarantine period?
Well, we were here to answer the phone. We answered a lot of the calls for various areas of the university, and when someone needed to make a payment, we would meet them at the door. If they were mailing in payments, we were still taking those payments. If they wanted to call in and ask questions, we were helping do that. And we knew that there was a need for students to make payments online, and we weren't here to show them how to do that. So we decided to start making some videos that showed step-by-step instructions on how to make these payments. And we got those uploaded at the beginning of the pandemic, and students could follow along with us to see how to make those payments at their house.
Now, I've seen some of your videos, and Sonia, you're a rising star in the video world. I think those were excellent. Have you been tracking the videos? Have students actually been using them? Have they been calling in with follow-up questions, that type of thing?
We don't get as many follow-up questions as we used to because we cover all of the hot topics in our videos. I do like to go in every month and see what the most watched video is and how much it is watched over the previous time that I checked the numbers, and it's fun to watch and see what students are geared towards when going online to see how to do things for the Bursar's office.
Well, tell me, how would a student find these videos, or a prospective student that's out there?
If you go to osuit.edu, look up Bursar's office, and from the very front page, it gives you a welcome, and it tells you how to work through the Bursar's website. And as you go through making a payment and everything, there's a video on each link.
Now, what I want to have you address next are the changes that have been forced on us. I know that COVID-19 is a very different world to operate in, and your office, like all of the offices on campus, have had to make a lot of modifications. Can you tell us what you're doing now that's different in order to serve our students?
We take a stance as we want to put ourselves in the student's shoes, and we know that times are tough. We've all been affected by COVID-19, so we are making sure if a student is having a hard time making a payment, that they have the tools to make the payments. We lay out the payment plan for them. We have a payment plan. Instead of being due up front a full balance to enroll in school, we take their payment and divide it over 3 months so that they can make it gradually versus all at one time. We moved some due dates around at the peak of COVID-19 to help students. We waived some late fees for students. We've done a whole lot to go in and make sure that the students are getting the biggest benefit out of their education here and saving themselves money.
Sonia, I want to thank you and your staff here in the Bursar's office for being so resilient and changing the way that you've done things in order to best serve our students and our campus. These have been very challenging times for us here at OSUIT, but I think that you're going to hear as you learn from the Bursar and other offices that we're doing everything that we can to make this campus as safe for our students to return and to learn all that they can here at OSUIT.